Welcome to the Chevrolet booth 2012 SEMA. It is again my pleasure to welcome some of the builders that have taken the new 5th gen Camaro to another level, including my friend Nic Ashby from Rockstar Performance Garage. How you doing today, brother?
Not too bad. It's a pretty exciting day, pretty exciting morning. We all know that there's a little bit of parties after SEMA at night, and had to get up pretty early this morning, but it's definitely a breakfast you don't want to miss.
Well, you've been working with Chevrolet for 4 years now. What has that been like for you?
It's just a crazy ride. I hope it keeps happening, and it seems like it's been really beneficial for both parties, and everything's turned out great so far, and it's been an awesome ride, and people try their whole lives to get on that ride, and they don't, and I just had a lot of support this far, so.
Well, if it's like a roller coaster, you just cinch it down just one more click and make sure you don't get off. But I went over and checked out the Camaro. Beautiful design. I love the difference in wheels. I love the way that you incorporated a whole theme throughout the car that both ties in the interior and the exterior.
Yeah, well, when we first sent over the design, we were worried we were going to get it back going, you can't have two different color wheels on a car. That doesn't work. And so we actually threw in some alters with the different colors, and we actually got it back from GM. They said, keep the wheels different colors. We like it. So that's what we did, and I think those wheels make that car pop with the yellow and the black.
Well, obviously, Bob, you had some influence from that. I mean, Nic Ashby, here he is right in front of you. Now's your chance to say why this car stood out.
Well, what Nic did was really neat was he incorporated this change in the wheels. Wheels are wheels. This is the first time we've seen an opportunity where a builder has come in and changed the color distinctively from the front to the rear, make it blend into the car.
Well, I think you could have taken the easy route and done gray or white or something like that, but it has to tie in. That's one of the things that's very important to design. When you put a car together, when you see it out in the future, how do you come about that design? Do you see it in your eyes? Do you see it on a computer? Do you see it on a napkin?
Well, we just jumped into the Rockstar Performance Garage with Rockstar Energy Drinks to build the first lifestyle-owned garage. And so we knew the colors we really need to use primarily on this was the yellow and black. So we kind of started with that as a palette. But we wanted to do it in a way that wasn't just going to be something plastered on the side of a car. So what we did is we basically figured out where the lines were on the Camaro. We all know it has wide hips. So the front end kind of loses some of it when you see just a normally painted Camaro. The back end's a little more accented. So we wanted to take that black so it can just kind of tone it down a little bit, but bring the front a little bit brighter so it widens the front a little bit, throw a couple little pinstripes in there. But our biggest problem was once we got this pearl paint job on this thing, we had to step up the interior. Being a convertible, everything is seen. So that's kind of where we jumped in and used an Alpine Star race suit to kind of inspire our interior on it. And
you can see that in the pinstripe, and I love it. The other thing that really stuck out about your Camaro, in my mind, was the use of carbon fiber. And we had a great little discussion about how you don't just take a part that's carbon fiber and put on the car, but you're really using that skill to metamorphosize these parts to make them fit as if they were factory issue. And as we all know, carbon fiber can be kind of stubborn.
Whenever you're dealing with like a fiber type material compared to a metal, you don't get, I would say, the cleanness on your edges and stuff, and especially your OEM lines. And when you're working with GM and you're doing a carbon, you have to maintain OEM lines. And there's been a couple of times where he's broke out a ruler on me and checked it down to the 16th going, you need to fix that. So one thing that we always learn, and it's a nice trick to have in your bag, is we always heat our carbon up. And we get it to the point where it's pretty hot to handle. And then we remold it and refit it a little bit to get that much better. So we'll spend maybe 2 or 3 days doing nothing but fitting carbon before we even touch it for paint or do anything like that.
Well, Bob, I got to ask you, now we've talked about why the car stood out, but is it important to have this kind of relationship between not only someone, and by the way, thank you for serving our military, but also to bring in, again, it's a message of bringing youth and seeing something like a Rockstar Energy vehicle and bringing that to the market with Chevrolet?
Yeah, I really look for that as we set up the program with the partner builds. When we first came across Nic, it was a real neat deal because I liked him. He had our energy. He's a new guy, has new kinds of creativity. It's great to work with some of the past partners that you've got experience with, but fresh blood is always good.
It's great, man. I think you're doing a great job. I love the car. I mean, that's what really counts to me. It looks good, and I'm sure it drives good, and I'm looking for more products down the road. I'm sure we're going to see them.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Nic Ashby, Rockstar Performance Garage. Of course, my friend Bob sitting in with me. This is the Chevrolet Performance Group right here at the Chevrolet booth at 2012 SEMA. See you in a minute.